Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So for this week, I want to do something different. I want to do kind of like a weekly news roundup where I talk about important news that just happened or important things that will be happening in the next couple of weeks. So let me know what you think about this format in the comment down below. Now, as always, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to our channel, and also join our free private Facebook group where we have close to 5,000 members in there. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into today's video. So we have 5 news we need to go over, and the first one, let's start with something that's worldwide. It is that the World Health Organization have declared global emergency on monkeypox. The chief of WHO says expanding monkeypox outbreak is more than 70 countries. It's an extraordinary event that now qualifies as global emergency. In the past 20 years, counting this time, we have declared 7 times. It was 2009 swine flu, 2014 polio, 2014 Ebola, 2016 Zika virus, 2018 to 20 Kivu Ebola, 2020 COVID-19, and now 2022 monkeypox. Now, even though it is in the same kind of declaration category as COVID, I would say everyone to not be too overly concerned right now that it is going to be another COVID-like pandemic. I don't think that is happening. The reason why is because according to WHO's top monkeypox expert, Dr. Rosamund Lewis, 99% of all monkeypox cases beyond Africa were in men, and 98% of those cases seem to involve very intimate contact with same sex. So other than that, at this moment, there doesn't seem to be any evidence suggesting that this can be easily transmitted otherwise. Also, do keep in mind that we do already have existing vaccine that works against monkeypox. In US, 2 FDA licensed vaccines, Genios, also known as Invamune or Invanex, and also Acam 2000. Those 2 vaccines are known to be pretty effective against monkeypox. So again, we're not venturing into some new unknown disease pandemic like COVID-19. So I am bringing this up here is because number 1, this is for everyone's health. I want everyone to be careful. And also number 2 is in case somebody worries that these kind of things will crash the market again, this should not create too much turbulence in the stock market or risk economy shutting down again. So something good to keep in mind, but at this moment, no real concern from a financial perspective. Now, next, moving on, let's talk about prescribed rates and that it is going up in Canada. So we spoke about this before, but prescribed rate is the minimal interest rate you have to charge if you are loaning money to a non-arm's length person. Now, this is most frequently used when people want an income split between spouses. So if you have a high income spouse and want to invest via a low income spouse, you cannot just pass money to the other spouse. You have to set up a loan agreement and actually have a percentage of interest charged every year. And you have to charge at least CRA's minimal prescribed rate, which has been 1% since 2020 until Q2 of this year. Now, currently for Q3 of 2020, we are at 2%. It is set to increase to 3% for Q4 due to increasing interest rate, because prescribed rate is based on average yield of Government of Canada's 3 months Treasury bill. So when their yield goes up, so does the prescribed rate. Now, this is very important because once you establish a loan agreement, let's say you do it right now at the 2% prescribed rate, you are going to lock this percentage in no matter how much the prescribed rate gets increased in the future until you cancel the loan. So if you need to use spousal loan to split investment income, then you should get this going as soon as possible to lock in that 2%. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here how this works. I do have a previous video that I discussed this in a pretty lengthy discussion. So if you want, check out the video in the description below. Now, next news, it's about BC and its introduction of real estate cooling period. So BC have announced a mandatory 3-day cooling period to allow home buyers time to arrange an inspection and take important steps like securing finance in this province's high-pressure real estate market. Finance Minister Selina Robinson says this policy includes a cancellation fee of 0.25% that the buyer has to pay if you want to back out during the 3-day cooling period. So every 100K of purchase price, this will be $250 of cancellation fee. Now, in March, the BC Real Estate Association actually made 34 different recommendations to address current real estate concern and said they were disappointed the government only decided to announce one measure. The association suggested that instead, they should do a 5-day pre-offer period where sellers cannot accept offers in the first 5 days since listing, which can allow buyers to arrange inspections. Honestly, I do agree. I think the 3-day cooling period is a little bit way too short. And also cancellation fee, it's kind of like a stupid thing because on average in Vancouver, 1 bedroom alone costs at least 600K. And houses go over 1 mil, 2 mil, etc. So if they cancel, they are going to be out 1,500 to 2,500 minimal. So this also puts a pressure, especially first-time home buyer, right? These things is already very hectic, and now they have to deal with this kind of 3-day cooling period that, yeah, technically you can get out of, but you do have to pay a couple thousand in exit fee. I feel like this is just going to pressure buyers to ignore inspection report even if there is some red flags, or just outright not do an inspection anyway. The 5-day pre-offer period makes a little bit more sense, but it also may run into the same problem if property is on the market for a long time, so the 5-day is over anyway. Or if we're back to a very, very hot market, then it's maybe the same thing. People are just going to wait the 5 days and then run right in to make offer without any conditions. I personally wonder if it's even possible to do this, but if it is, I think maybe they just make it mandatory to have all offers subject to inspection, so you cannot offer without inspection. If that's possible, I don't know if that is, then why don't we just do that? Force people to do inspection, force people to look at the report, and let people back out without any penalty if they see something they don't like in the report. I feel like this is going to create a lot more room for buyers to make the correct decision. The 3 days nor the 5 days really help, especially in a very, very hot market. But anyway, let's move on and talk about our neighbors, and it is that their dollars are slipping while gold value is gaining. So US dollars slipped against a basket of currency last Friday after data shows US business activities contracted for the first time in almost 2 years as sharp slowdown in service sector outweighed the modest growth in manufacturing. US composite PMI output index reads at 47.5. Anything below 50 indicates business had contracted. This feeds into existing debate whether US is or nearly in recession. Now, because of this, Euro is 0.1% higher, British Pound is up 0.28% despite concern for UK economy. Canadians to USD largely left unchanged, while Australian dollars headed for the best week in several months due to a more positive market mood. It is up 2.4% for the week. And also in terms of crypto, Bitcoin since the massive crash has been up 13%. Ethereum is up 11% last week as of the time I'm making this video. Gold, which works as an inverse to USD dollars, goes up and it has been up 1.2% since then. So if US continues to show signs of recession, especially the GDP report, which we will be talking about in the next news update, comes out and confirms we are officially in a recession, I do imagine that USD is probably going to get hit, and which will boost gold price up and may also make it a little bit cheaper to exchange versus other currency, which will affect us as well. So that's something we have to take a look as well. But anyway, finally, let's wrap up by looking ahead and look at some very important days in this week that will be affecting the market and the economy. There are tons of news coming out for this week to pay attention to, especially for Canada and the US. Starting with July 26th on Tuesday, a couple of things that we have to pay attention to: Canadian wholesale trade, which is July's early indicator. Another one is US new home sales and Conference Board Consumer Confidence Index. Now, other than that, there are a lot of major companies reporting their earnings. For example, Tuesday would be Microsoft and Google's parent company Alphabet. Also, US Federal Reserve's 2-day meeting starts on that day as well. Lastly, on Tuesday, the European Union energy ministers is to hold emergency meeting in Brussels regarding the energy crisis, which can bring volatility to oil price. Now, on Wednesday, July 27, US durable goods and services report will come out. Again, there will be lots of megacorp earnings such as Rogers, Loblaw, and also various energy companies. US Federal Reserve is to release interest rate decision, which at this moment, market is leaning towards 0.75% rate hike. For July 28th, Thursday, Canada payroll employment report is coming out. Also, this is where we hear about US GDP for quarter 2, and if we are in negative again, which will bring us to 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, which means recession officially starts. So maybe it will bring a lot of volatility to the market. Also, US initial jobless claim, and again, more earnings, notably Apple and Amazon. For July 29th, Friday, Canadian GDP for May will come out. US personnel income and spending report is out as well, and also a lot of oil companies report their earnings on that date. Finally, July 31st, Sunday, this is the outside date of Rogers' $20 billion takeover of Shaw. So lots of things happening in this weekend, and very likely something during the week it's going to either pump the market or upset the market, which will be something I will talk about next week in detail. So that's everything I have for you guys today. This is a new format. Again, let me know what you think. Do you like these kind of very quick news roundup just so you know what's going on and what's gonna happen? Let me know in the comment down below. And if you like these kind of videos, I do upload them 8:30 EST every Tuesday. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell button to get all the notifications in the future. Alright, this is Jackie Ho. I hope you found this interesting. I'll see you next week. Bye!